So I figured I'd treat my subs to something special. A review of AWE Night of Legends. You know, people love indie wrestling. They talk about it all the time. They say it's better than WWE, better than, TNA. It's the best thing ever. Indie wrestling, woo! But not Ring of Honor. AWE stands for Awesome Wrestling Entertainment. So it's got to be awesome and it's got to be entertainment. Maybe The Miz runs it or something. I don't know. But it's on Netflix. It happened on October 15th, 2011. So let's take a look what happened. Watch this show. Figured, you know what? Why not? Let's check it out. Maybe it'll be good. First match of the night, Tommy Dreamer versus Terry Funk. And this matchup, wow, right off the start, what a fucking botch fest this was. They're fighting on the outside. They don't even have steel chairs. They have like pathetic little elementary school chairs that are all plastic, and they're throwing them at each other. I throw plastic at you. Oh, Terry Funk heart attack. Oh, wait a minute. Tommy Dreamer. Oh my God. Oh, massive botches all over the place. What the fuck was this? This just looked like retards having a hardcore match. I mean, wow. What? These are hardcore legends just making fools out of themselves. Dreamer comes up with a small package. All of a sudden, you got 1, 2, and 3? I'm not sure. The announcer said that he kicked out, but wait a minute. The referee says that Dreamer won. They botched the fucking call in the first match. What? Everybody's all confused. The announcers are apologizing for making a bad call there and saying that Funk kicked out when he didn't. Funk goes apeshit. I don't know, was he supposed to kick out or what? But I don't even fucking care. This is not important. This is what I expected kind of from an indie event. Then you got Jamin Olivencia and he defeats Sanjay Dutt. This guy is like the Mr. Kennedy ripoff, the indie Mr. Kennedy. Says his name 1,000 times. All he does is rest holds. Very, very fucking boring. I'm a fan of Sanjay Dutt, but he didn't do fucking anything in this match. Olivencia gets the win with his finisher, but I don't know what his finisher is. And you might be asking, but Brad, didn't you pay attention to the match? Well, I was. But the camera didn't even show his finisher. And you know what that means? Usually on a tape, when they flash away from the ring for a moment, that usually means that he botched his finisher. Holy fucking shit. I mean, you get a bunch of rest holds, so he's basically 100% by the end of the match. And he can't even fucking hit his finisher the right way. What retardation. Then you got Perry Saturn coming back after 9 years, which I was excited about, having a match with C.W. Anderson. Oh, it's going to be great. C.W. Anderson was great in ECW. He was the last Anderson cousin. I'm not sure if he was really related to him or not. I don't think he really was. But anyway, Perry Saturn, was a big fan of him in WCW. And even in WWE when he first got there, when he was part of Radicals. This matchup was in fucking slow motion. Saturn was just looked confused. They talked about his drug problems, and they said that he's off drugs now. Bull fucking shit. This guy looked like he was still on crack by the way he was moving around that ring. They tried to go for a high spot with Anderson, him, Perry Saturn with the chair during a suicide dive, but it was just like fucking ugly because it was just in slow motion and all just weird. What a fucking weird match. And Saturn then gets the win with the sunset flip of all things. Was that even booked as the finish? I hope to God it wasn't. I mean, did they even book finishes in this thing? Is there any booking at all? Just random people come out and have matches. I don't fucking know. But that was just retarded. Then we get Muhammad Akbar in a match with Jim Duncan. And this is just basically a copy of Muhammad Hassan, the Iron Sheik, Davari. Just one of Middle Eastern Sheik characters that they have. And basically he insults the U.S. He's doing rest holds through the whole match. Duggan hits him with the clothesline. It's over. USA chants. Just very, very boring. And, you know, we've already seen Duggan on WWE television in recent years 1,000 times, so it's not even special. I like Duggan in the 80s, you know, when I was a kid, but, you know, those days have passed. Then you got Finlay versus Alex Silva, and this was just amazingly horrible. Alex Silva's doing all retarded ass faces. Yes, this is the same Alex Silva from TNA Gut Check, but he's basically like a ultra weirdo, like the ultimate weirdo, like Randy Orton, where, you know, you don't even know what the fuck his gimmick is supposed to be, just making weird faces, and he keeps sticking his tongue out, and the announcers are not, they won't shut up about him, you know, about his tongue. They keep talking about his tongue. It's all about his tongue. I mean, my God, like, what? And he's coming out with Sunny. I hope the fuck that he is, you know, using that tongue to eat her out, because, I mean, what the fuck is going on here? This matchup was full of rest holds and everything. I like Sunny. She's looking a little bit old, but, you know, hey, you know what? I tapped that. But still, this matchup was fucking horrible. Then Finlay acts like he's got a knee injury, but then he goes back in there and he looks like he's 100%. I mean, what the fuck happened? I mean, he doesn't even want to sell the knee injury. They were about to stop the match, and then they just goes it back in there like nothing happened. They stopped it for like 10 minutes, and it wasn't even real. It was a work. Alex Silva gets the win with a schoolboy of all things. A schoolboy. Yeah, I'm sure he likes to probably take little schoolboys to his hotel room and probably use his tongue on them. Fucking Alex Silva. This is the TNA guy that all the fanboys are talking about. He's a revolutionary wrestler. Put your tongue back in your mouth, you fucking sicko. Then you got Short Sleeve Samson defeating Abo Shango. Short Sleeve Samson's basically a Hornswoggle ripoff. Abo Shango is basically a ripoff of Papa Shango. Samson is a midget. Shango is a full-sized guy, and there's just rest holds in it. And then Short Sleeve Samson does the Tableau Splash, totally, you know, making it quite ambiguous that he is a copy of Hornswoggle, because he used the same fucking finisher. It's the horrible, shitty-ass match. Then we get the main event. It's Nash and DDP, motherfuckers, versus the Rock and Roll Express. Yeah, the original one. I'm not even fucking joking. It's the original Rock and Roll Express of all things. And they're looking fucking old. They look like they're about to fucking drop dead. They might have been a great tag team back in the day, but they fucking look old. They shouldn't be out there. I was excited though. DDP, one of my top 10 of all time, motherfuckers. And he's out there. I mean, it might be a shitty indie show, but I'm happy. Even the match sucks just to see DDP again. But then some no-namer comes out and switches the match. False advertising. And now they change it to Nash and Ricky Morton. And Nash just beats the shit out of Morton, and he blades. Why is he blading for such a shitty match? Then Nash gets on the mic and wants to know why Morton hates him so much. And Ricky Morton takes the mic and says because he's a prick and an asshole. And then Nash wants to, you know, make up with him, so he goes for the handshake. But then he just jackknives him and walks out. The announcers say, well, this is going to be a no contest. And then we find out that there's a count out. So again, they botched the finish. And it's Ronnie Garvin, of all people, who's the special guest referee, who got no reaction at all. An NWA legend, but no one knew who he was, and this just came out of left field. All of a sudden, they give you a main event, and then they just tell everybody to just get the fuck out of the ring, and they come up with a new match. How can you ask people? This was on DirecTV and all the major cable network providers. It was available. Now they have it on Netflix. But how could you charge? This was probably like $20, $30 when it came out. How could you charge money for this thing and then change your main event, your advertised main event? You just fucking changed the whole fucking thing. This whole show from top to bottom was just horrible. Botches, just, you know, confusing finishes. They told you one thing was the finish and then there was another thing. I mean, this thing, I know that Guantanamo Bay was closed down way before this, but I swear to God, this could have been used as a torture device over there. This is worse than waterboarding. I mean, I felt like fucking screaming. I mean, I felt like just going insane, like taking a lighter, lighting myself on fire, and just jumping out the window, you know, and just bleeding out outside, because this was just the fucking worst thing. I mean, my God. I mean, it must be more pleasant shooting yourself in the head than watching this event. I thought to watching this because I saw DDP. I just wanted to watch it to see what was going to happen. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm curious about all things wrestling. I want to give things a chance. But this is what happens when you give things a chance. You're just fucking disappointed. That's all it is. Life is full of disappointment, children. And this is a perfect example of that. Awesome? No, this was shit.